The Nuggets get to win number 10. The Lakers blow out the Milwaukee Bucks. And also, are you drinking the Kool-Aid? We'll get into all of it in today's episode of Locked On Game Night.
When that final buzzer rings, you know it's time for Locked On NBA Game Night. All the post-game reactions to every game across the league, every single night, with insights only the hosts at Locked On can provide. It's the true NBA fans' one stop for all the action. Every game, every night. It's Locked On NBA Game Night, tipping off now.
What's the deal? Welcome back to another episode of Locked On Game Night. I am your host, Koo Cahill. I also host the Locked On Pistons podcast as Camille Davis. She also hosts Locked On Bucks, and today we'll be discussing the Nuggets getting to their 10th win. We'll talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. Sorry, Camille. Went down to the Los Angeles Lakers pretty badly. And then we'll also play a game of Are You Drinking the Kool-Aid as well. Today's episode, though, is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Head to FanDuel.com to get started today. And also, we're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. That's big time. Appreciate all the support you guys give us every single day. But let's go ahead and start with the Nuggets versus the Timberwolves. The Nuggets pull out this win, 123-112. They pulled out late. It was a close game throughout the entire game, but then in that fourth quarter, Nikola Jokic, even Jonas Valanciunas had a really good stretch early in that fourth quarter, kind of pull away from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Let's go and hear from Locked On Lakers host Andy, or not Locked On Lakers host. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. Just to give you guys a peek behind the curtains, this is now take number 3 because I messed up the intro a few times, so just bear with us. We're gonna hear from Swipe Up to hear about the Nuggets and Timberwolves game.
A double-digit win versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. No Cameron Johnson, no Christian Brown, no problem. Spencer Jones had to get heavy minutes tonight. He actually played really good defense, but Peyton Watson, he gets to start for Cameron Johnson. His defense on Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, it didn't matter, was tremendous today. Nikola Jokic misses out on another triple-double, 19, 10, and 9. 74 true shooting. Jamal Murray, the shooting splits don't tell the story. He was excellent out of pick and roll tonight, destroying Rudy Gobert or Naz Reid, whoever was guarding him. And then Aaron Gordon, very good game. But shout out to Tim Hardaway Jr. Led the Denver Nuggets in scoring today. He continues to be the story of the season for Denver. The Nuggets bench, they helped them to not only sustain leads, but build leads at the top of the fourth quarter. The Nuggets look like a different engine this year. They won 7 straight, double-digit win in Minnesota, a fully healthy Minnesota team. They're now 10-2, and they look like they are the real deal.
So, Camille, what was your takeaway from this game? You mentioned Tim Hardaway Jr. was a big impact on this game. Yeah. How are you feeling after watching this game?
One, disappointed that the fourth quarter went the way it went. I thought the Wolves were going to be powered up by the Prince jerseys, the court, all that. I love those City Edition uniforms. Nice. But on the Nuggets side of things, it was one of those things in this game where it's like, we know these two teams have a history with one another. These two teams don't like each other. They met in the playoffs 2 years going back now. So, like, there's some history here. And in this particular game, seeing the Nuggets come out and, like, hit the zone immediately on defense, and they're like, we just going to press this button and see how y'all react to this. And the defense for the Nuggets stood out to me in this game. Peyton Watson, he's not somebody who, like, the stat sheets are going to point to him like, man, he had a great game because you look and you see 8 points. But he was doing so much defensively for this team. Aaron Gordon, the 3-ball looks like it's real for him. And Nikola Jokic has been out here looking like Nikola Jokic, what you expect from someone of his caliber. So, like, the Nuggets have just been really impressive as of late. But the Tim Hardaway Jr. part, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that because you had a very close look at Tim Hardaway Jr. when he was in Detroit. How do you feel seeing him now in this role in Denver?
Yeah, I thought that he would be excellent in this role with Jokic. I feel like THJ is one of those great play finishers. He's going to catch and shoot instantly. He's going to have a quick trigger, whether he's contested or not. And he goes through these stretches where he'll have a game like this where he may have some cold nights where it's like, okay, tough to see some of these shots go up because they're contested, whatever. Mm-hmm. But he's one of those unconscious shooters that doesn't matter if he's hot or cold, he's going to keep letting it go. And he'll have a game where he just wins you a game because he hits 5, 6 threes, or he'll have a game when he's hitting 3 threes and now they're closing out hard. And now he's attacking closeouts again all the way to the rim. Like, he's one of those guys that can win you a few games throughout the season. I watched him do it for the Pistons last year. So I thought he'd fit really well with Jokic in Denver, especially if he had a good shooting season. So I'm not surprised that he's playing well with Denver. I thought he'd be a really good fit for them. But I thought another thing, I want to get your thoughts on this. The non-Nikola Jokic minutes obviously is a narrative and a talking point every single season when it comes to the Denver Nuggets. And to start the fourth quarter, you had texted me right before the fourth quarter started, like, oh, this, this is going to be a good game here. And then they start the fourth quarter out with Jonas Valanciunas out there. And instantly, he seems to have a real big impact in the first 5 or so minutes. Yeah. And that's where they really started to extend the lead. Now, Minnesota tried to make it a little closer after that. But that's where it really felt like that Denver started to go off with the game, even in the non-Jokic minutes. Were you impressed in how they played without Jokic on the floor?
I have been, because that's been an Achilles heel for the Nuggets since Jokic really has become like this MVP level type of player. And that's why, like, in the offseason too, like hearing people talk about this Nuggets team of like, hey, this roster just looks like it makes a lot more sense now around Nikola Jokic. Being able to have Jonas Valanciunas come in as a big off the bench to back up Jokic has been huge for this team. Also, the minutes of them sharing the court together kind of intrigued, also kind of like, do we need a lot of this? But it's another punch that they can throw. And that's just been an area for this Nuggets team where it's been difficult. It's not as if him coming in has like completely turned the tides for the bench unit. Like, they still struggle when he sits, but it's like, can you weather the storm long enough for him to get enough rest to get back into the game? And this Nuggets team, not only with Valanciunas, but seeing Bruce Brown back on the roster for them, seeing what Julian Strawther has been giving them too, Spencer Jones, like there's just been guys on the roster where it's like, people are showing up in their playing time, even if it's a little playing time, and trying to make somewhat of a positive impact. Although some of those names tonight, like Bruce Brown, Julian Strawther, like the shot wasn't falling for him, but the effort and defense was still there.
So Denver gets their 10th win. The only teams ahead of them in wins are the Detroit Pistons, shout it out, and the Oklahoma City Thunder. So Denver's having a great start to the year. It seems like it's really between Denver early. It's very, very early in the season, but it looks like a clear two best teams, I feel like, in the West, in Denver and OKC right now. Let's go over to Minnesota real quick. Were you disappointed in what you saw from Minnesota? They fall to 8-5 now on the season. Where are you at right now with Minnesota?
They won 4 games heading into this game. So, they're 4-1 now over their last 5, which isn't bad. I felt like Minnesota responded well throughout the game to Denver until the fourth quarter. I'm not sure if that's because of like the pressure and physicality that Minnesota was bringing into this game, and if they just kind of got tired by the fourth quarter themselves. But like, they tried to really bully the Nuggets, and the Nuggets were up for that challenge in this particular game. So a little disappointed how it ended for Minnesota, but again, the hustle that they were able to put in there, seeing them come back, because they got off to a slow start themselves in this game before they found a way to punch back. So that's what happens. Heavyweights punch back. We know runs happen. It just wasn't the Wolves' night tonight.
All right, coming up, the Lakers again. Sorry, Camille. Blow out the Milwaukee Bucks 119-95. We'll discuss what happened to Milwaukee, and are the Lakers a really good team? We'll talk about it coming up. Today's episode is brought to you by Drip Drop. When I'm hydrated, everything just works better. My focus, energy, mood, even my skin. That's why I've been using Drip Drop. It's doctor-developed hydration that keeps me running at full power no matter what my day looks like. Drip Drop isn't your average sports drink. It delivers 3 times the electrolytes and half the sugar of leading brands using science-backed formula trusted by medical professionals, firefighters, and over 90% of top colleges and pro teams. Hydration has become non-negotiable for me. Drip Drop makes me feel sharper, calmer, and honestly, just better overall. So right now, Drip Drop is offering podcast listeners 20% off your first order. Go to dripdrop.com and use promo code LOCKEDONNBA. That's dripdrop.com. Promo code LOCKEDONNBA for 20% off. Stock up now before the heat hits hard, and keep your body and mind performing at their best with Drip Drop. Then I got to tell you guys about another one of our sponsors, Wayfair. The holiday season is right around the corner, and that means it's time to get your home ready. Whether you need more seating for guests, cozy new linens, and fun serveware for holiday hosting, Wayfair's Black Friday sale is here to help you make your space shine. And the best part, you don't have to wait. Wayfair's Black Friday deals are happening all month long with up to 70% off everything from sofas, dispatches. I can tell you guys, it's absolutely true. I was just on there the other day. I got myself a dresser for my room. I needed another dresser. Got one 70% off. It was great. Loved it. It's going to be here in a few days. I wouldn't be able to get that anywhere else outside of Wayfair. So don't miss out on the early Black Friday deals. Head to wayfair.com now to shop Wayfair's Black Friday sale up to 70% off. That's WAYFAIR.com. Sale ends December 7th with Wayfair.com. So I want to thank you guys again for making Locked On Game Night one of your first listens of every single day. I'm the host of Locked On Pistons podcast, Kuka Hill. That's Camille Davis of Locked On Bucks. And we're going to now get into a tough outing from Camille's Milwaukee Bucks. They lose this game to the Los Angeles Lakers, 119-95. Luka Doncic goes crazy, 41 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. DeAndre Ayton has a double-double, 20 points and 10 rebounds. Let's go here. Now we're actually going to hear from Andy of Locked On Lakers to hear about what happened in this game.
Kim Minetsky, co-host of Locked On Lakers podcast, and the Lakers close out a 5-game road trip with a 119-95 win over the Bucks in Milwaukee. Very shorthanded state for the Lakers. Obviously, no LeBron James, but also no Rui Hachimura, Marcus Smart, or Gabe Vincent. Second end of a back-to-back, but the Lakers controlled this game basically wire to wire. 41, 9, and 6, plus 2 blocks from Luka Doncic, 25 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists from Austin Reeves, and a 2010 night from DeAndre Ayton, whose defense was a big part of the Lakers holding the Bucks to just 34 points in the first half and under 25 points in 3 of the 4 quarters. The Lakers closed this road trip on a very strong note in what had otherwise been a very up and down trip. For more Lakers coverage, make sure you're watching Locked On Lakers on YouTube and listening wherever you get your podcasts.
So before we get into the game, I got to ask you, a few of my friends texted me and was like, the difference in this game was Bronny James started. He had a whole 9 minutes of games played, 0 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Was the aura of Bronny the problem from Milwaukee?
Now, whenever LeBron comes to Milwaukee, it's fireworks. It's always a spectacle. It's just not normally with that junior attached to it. So not as much of a Bronny problem in this one as it was a Luka being Luka problem and the Bucks not being able to make a bucket until it was too late.
So go ahead and talk about it. Luka, obviously 41 points of 9 of 19 shooting.
Man.
Incredibly efficient. Got to the free throw line 20 times here against the Bucks. Giannis had a great game. It felt like he tried to get them back into the game, especially in that second quarter. It felt like he turned up the aggression, tried to get them back into it, but it just wasn't enough. What happened in this game?
They couldn't make a bucket in the first half is what it really came down to. So far this season, it's been a Bucks team that I've been saying it's been more enjoyable to watch this team last year. They've been fun, but they have some glaring weaknesses on their roster, which is why they moved Kyle Kuzma into the starting lineup yesterday against the Hornets for the first time to try to give him some more size. Defense has been a problem in the sense too of like just stopping guys, but also ending possessions, giving up second chance points to other teams. And what's been saving the Bucks is that they've had the best half court in the entire NBA. They've had a top 10 offense for most of the season. And on a night like tonight, where, your defense is already kind of shaky and now you don't have shots falling, like it's going to be very, very tough to win those games with how this team is built. Like it just wasn't happening for them early on. They dug too big of a hole to climb out of in this one.
Yeah, you mentioned that no one else could really get anything going. I mean, Giannis, like I said, had 32, 10, and 5. He shot 9 of 15 from the floor. He got to the free throw line himself 18 times, but then everybody else. You had 15 points from AJ Green on 5 of 10 shooting. Gary Trent chipped in a little bit, 5 of 12, but then you had 3 of 8 from Bobby Portis, 2 of 5 from Gary Harris. Ryan Rollins, who, again, like I mentioned to you in that crossover a few weeks ago, went to my high school rival, Dakota High School over here in Macomb, Michigan. It's cool to see him in the NBA, but not a good game from him in this one. 4 of 11 shooting. And then, like you said, just everyone else never really got – Cole Anthony did not get very good minutes. And Kyle
not
Kuzma
a great game from Cole.
Yeah, not a very good game from your guys' favorite player, Kyle Kuzma, as well. But let's go ahead and go to the Lakers side as well. Let's go to the Lakers side real quick. So Luka has another great game, but DeAndre Ayton, did you see what JJ Redick wore on his way into the game?
I did. And now seeing how he played, they probably going to be wearing these Lion Aiden shirts all the time because it looked like it worked. He had the right energy and juice in this game, and I thought that he did what he could against Giannis.
So what's your biggest takeaway from the Lakers and how they've played without LeBron. Obviously, we know what Luka is, but we're seeing Austin Reeves step up. We're seeing DeAndre Ayton step up. We're seeing these other guys step up and help them play. Andy mentioned that it wasn't the greatest road trip for them. They finished 3-2 on the road trip, but I believe they are now 10-4 on the season. 10-4 on the season, fourth in the Western Conference. How are you feeling about this team, even without LeBron James so far?
That they've been finding a way. They're a resilient group, more so than what I would have said in some past years, because even though LeBron hasn't played all season, they've also been in a few games without Luka. They've been in a few games without Austin Reeves. I thought they had at least one game where they didn't have any of those big three available at all, and they've still been finding ways to win. So that's been like the makeup of this Lakers team. And going into Milwaukee tonight, second night of a back-to-back for both the Lakers and the Bucks, but the Lakers had to travel to Milwaukee for this back-to-back. Milwaukee, the Bucks were already at home, just had to kind of get ready for the game today. So seeing them step up in a game again, we knew they weren't going to have LeBron, but to not have Rui in this game, to not have Gabe Vincent in this game, to not have Marcus Smart in this game, and Marcus Smart's played a big role. I think just like the role players on this team have understood the assignment. And they've been playing their roles very, very well. And then you have Luka being Luka, Austin Reeves continuing to surprise and continue to show that he is a star in this league as well. So we can count on that. And then Ayton gives you 20. It's a good formula.
And then you can't forget about the aura farming from Bronny James as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I want to ask you this. LA has 10 wins. I know I mentioned earlier that it feels like that the best two teams in the West are Denver and OKC. From what I've watched, it feels like those two teams, they're at the top. But LA has 10 wins. They're right there when it comes to win-loss record. Do you view them right now in the same tier as those teams, or do you believe that the Lakers are a step below?
I think they're a step below those two teams at the moment. But again, it's a long season. Things change. Tiers are flexible. Just because you're in one at one moment doesn't mean you can't jump to another. But I just think that the Lakers defense has been too inconsistent for me to put them in a tier with what we've been seeing from Denver and from OKC. Because, especially OKC doing this with all the injuries they got. Like, that's a different tier. And we're going to talk about them a little bit later. So, I think I'd put them in a different tier than the Lakers right now, but the Lakers have been playing some pretty good ball.
Yeah, and the Lakers, again, they don't have LeBron, so we'll have to see what they look like once LeBron comes back. I never thought I'd see the update that LeBron's practicing with the G League team.
Right. While Bronny's on the main roster at that.
Yeah, who would have thought? Who would have thought? No one would have saw that one coming. Alternate universe right there. But Luka, again, great game, 40-plus points in this game. Austin Reeves continues to step up and play really well in LeBron's absence. I'm going to be interested to see how they all play together once LeBron gets back. But maybe they all need to continue to wear those shirts, because DeAndre Ayton came out here and this is how I knew DeAndre Ayton was going to be on some different timing tonight. One of the first plays I saw, he caught a pass at the high post and immediately just went into a jumper and just all of that. I was like, oh God, it's about to be different tonight.
He was ready. He was. I mean, he feel a way about being in that building in Fiserv after what happened in the finals in 01. So him and Giannis, they were both up for that matchup tonight.
So coming up, we're going to play a game. I think this is Camille's first time playing the game.
Ooh.
Are you drinking the Kool-Aid? We'll talk about the OKC Thunder game. We'll talk a little bit about Ja Morant. And then we'll also talk about the Toronto Raptors. We'll get into all of that coming up after the break. Today's episode is brought to you by DoorDash. The NBA season is heating up, and DoorDash has found a way to keep fans in their bag all season long. Whether you're waiting for the highlights of your fantasy team or just your favorite player, DoorDash makes every game night even better. DoorDash, is the official on-demand delivery platform of the NBA, and they're celebrating with something called the Bag Drop. Every time an NBA player scores 50 points in a game, DoorDash drops 50% off your order with Dash Pass the next day, and you're automatically entered for a chance to win the ultimate bag. DoorDash has you covered for late night highlights, last minute watch parties, and double OT fuel ups. So next time someone goes off for 50 points in a game, use promo code NBA50 the next day to get 50% off on DoorDash with Dash Pass, plus your shot at the Bag Drop. Dash Pass members only, 50% off up to $10 the next day after a 50-point game with promo code terms apply. No purchase necessary. Ends April 13th. Open to U.S. residents 21 or older. Visit DoorDash in your bag for full details. DoorDash in your bag all season long. Then I got to tell you guys about another one of our sponsors, a day one, FanDuel. The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next 2 fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. And again, if you're a new customer at FanDuel, you will get $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet hits. So head to FanDuel.com, sign up, play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. So welcome back to another episode of Locked On Game Night. I am your host, Kuka. I host the Locked On Pistons podcast. That's Camille Davis. She hosts the Locked On Bucks podcast. Let's get into these games here. We got Cleveland beating the Memphis Grizzlies 108-100. We're getting into the game in just a second, but let's hear from Locked On Cavs host Danny Cunningham. What happened tonight?
Cunningham here at Rocket Arena after the Cavs beat the Memphis Grizzlies 108-100 on Saturday night. There is a high school basketball scrimmage going on behind me, so I can't walk the floor tonight, so we're just going to do this right here. But the Cavs didn't look great for the first 3 quarters. They looked okay defensively. They were fouling a little bit too frequently, but offensively, they looked stuck in mud. They weren't generating great shots. They weren't getting to the rim frequently enough. They weren't making the good shots that they did generate. It felt over and over again like the Cavs needed somebody to just step up and make a big play, and nobody was able to do it for the first 3 quarters. And then the fourth quarter rolled around. Cavs really turned up defensively. They held Memphis to just 16 points in the final 12 minutes. They scored 32 points because Donovan Mitchell was awesome in the fourth quarter, really took the Cavs home. On Saturday night, Evan Mobley was much better in the fourth quarter than he was in the first 3. And overall, the Cavs look like a team that's still kind of trying to figure things out. And in the month of November, that's okay. They're not where they want to be. They're not where they think that they will be. But right now, they're a team that would much rather learn through wins than learn through losses. So that makes Saturday night a test pass for the Cavs.
So that's all we need to hear about the Cavs, because I want to get to the other side. Cavs, they get the win, still behind the Detroit Pistons. Sorry, Danny, I had to do it. They're still two games behind the Detroit Pistons. Pistons leading in the division too. So Cleveland.
That Central Division, man.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough division. But I want to get to the Memphis side. So Memphis loses this game 108-100. They walked into the game with Ja playing. They left the game without him playing. He only played 6 minutes. Ended up leaving early in the game. This is what I want to ask you. This is the first question of the game. Are you drinking the Kool-Aid that Ja Morant is washed? It's cooked. He's done.
No.
Okay.
I am not drinking
tell
that
us
Kool-Aid.
why.
One, I have a personal just affinity for Ja Morant. I went to Marquette, so I'm a Marquette basketball fan. My first look at Ja Morant was him cooking Marquette in the tournament, and I was like, who is this kid? And ever since that moment, I've been on board with him. But I mean, you saw before he got hurt in the game today, like he was looking good at the start. Like they had a new starting lineup. They finally threw Cedric Coward into the starting lineup. Zach Edey was healthy again. Ja had like 7 points, 2 assists before he left the game. I do not believe he's washed. He might be unhappy. He might be throwing a temper tantrum. He might be doing all of the things, but I know that is still a really, really talented basketball player.
So do you believe that Ja is going to have to leave Memphis to find, do you think he can still find, like Jimmy mentioned, find that happiness in Memphis still, or is he going to have to leave to find that happiness?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I would hope the answer is in Memphis, but if it gets to a point where that losing keeps stacking up, he's not happy with the system. It feels like it might be bubbling that way where Ja looks for another situation.
So my concern with Ja, I don't think he's washed either. I am concerned that he might be, I don't know. I'm concerned that he might ever be a star again. I think he can still be an impact player. My concern is that, and this is one of the players I loved watching the most. Like every time Ja played, he was like one of the best shows in the league, but seeing him not be able to get to the paint as he usually did each year, his rim frequency is going down. I watched him play the Pistons a few games ago, and he was getting walled off by bad defenders. He wasn't getting all the way to the rim. I was watching him turn his back to the basket instead of just exploding at the rim. It was tough. It was sad to see because Ja was one of my favorite players to watch. So I don't believe he's cooked, but I need to see him turn it around because I am getting concerned that maybe he just lost a step, and that's going to impact a player like him who relies so much on his athleticism for his entire game. But we'll wrap that one up with no, Camille is not drinking the Kool-Aid that John Morant is washed. We'll move on to the Toronto Raptors Indiana Pacers game. Toronto won this game 129-111. Jakob Poeltl had 22 points and 9 rebounds. Scotty Barnes 14-11 and 6. Brandon Ingram 19-5 and 2. And RJ Barrett had 22 points for the Raptors. Indiana on the other side were led by former Raptor Pascal Siakam, who dropped 30 points, but it wasn't enough. And Andrew Nembhard chipped in 22 points. They played well, but it wasn't enough to overshadow the Toronto Raptors. This is why I want to ask you, Camille. Are you drinking the Kool-Aid that you think the Raptors will be a playoff team this year?
Ooh, that's been the question. Had Sean Woodley on Locked On Bucks in the offseason, and he was mentioning like he was doubling down on the fact that the Raptors would be better.
Sean is very, very aggressive.
Very much so. But he walked that back. Let the record state he did walk that back, saying that he then thought that, hey, maybe the Bucks will finish higher. But in the way the East is shaking out, I think that they are for sure a top 10 team in the East. I feel very comfortable saying that. The hesitancy comes in of like, are they top 6, where it's like you're gonna have that guaranteed playoff spot? Like if the season ended today, they would be in there. But there are some teams that have shown some flashes where it's like I think they might still be better than where they currently are in the standings. With Miami being one of those teams, Orlando still trying to figure things out, the Bucks to a certain degree as well. So I think that they're going to be in that playoff picture. I don't think I can say top 6, but I feel confident about them being at least top 10, probably even top 8.
So the Raptors are very interesting to me because before the year, I looked at this roster and I was like, there's a lot of talent on this roster. I just don't know how it all fits. I don't know if they even really fit together. But so far, again, it's very early in the season. They've played 13 games. But through 13 games, they have the 5th best offense in basketball. They have a 119.9 offensive rating. That's really encouraging to me. And the defense isn't lagging way behind either. It's not like they have a bottom 10 defense. They have the 13th best defense in the league. So they're a few spots away from having a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense so far to start the year. They're getting me to buy in. They're getting me to buy in a little bit. I like how Scotty is not having the ball in his hands as much. He's kind of going back into a role where I feel like he is best used and most impactful. I like how Brandon Ingram's played for them. I like how he's got himself equipped over there. And then I've always been a fan of Poeltl, but I feel like he's an underrated big. I know he's getting a little bit older, but I kind of like him as well. They have a lot of talent. I mean, they got Murray Boyles. I really like him. Quickly is really talented. Barrett obviously is really talented. Grady Dick is really talented. Like they have a lot of guys over there, and they're putting it together. I'm hoping that they can do something this year because I am a big Brandon Ingram guy, and I hope that he makes the All-Star team in the East. But yeah, I think that guaranteeing a playoff spot would be tough. The East it's going to be tough to be guaranteed top 6. But I'd be pretty shocked at this point if they don't end up at least top 10 and finding their way at least into the top 8 into the playoffs. I know it's early in the season to talk about that, but I really like where this team's at right now and where they're going. I think they got something good going, especially offensively.
Agreed.
But to wrap it up, OKC, you mentioned them earlier, defeated the Charlotte Hornets 109-96. Charlotte did not play LaMelo Ball as he is still coming back from this injury. He was on a minutes restriction the previous game. This was a back end of a back-to-back for them, so he did not play. Charlotte did not play very well at all. There's not much to hit on from Charlotte's side. Got 13 points from Kalkbrenner. They got 15 points from Miles Bridges. Wasn't a great game from them. But OKC side, they continue to just look excellent. They're 13-1. They have the best net rating in the NBA. They have the best defense in the NBA by a wide margin.
Yep.
They're just dominating teams. They're beating teams like by double digits every single game. SGA with 33.7 assists in this game. Chet Holmgren with 25 and 8. Hardenstein with 12, 12 and 5. This team feels like, and then AJ Mitchell, who by the way was a second round pick and is just exploding this year for them. 14, 6 and 4 for him in this game. Question I have for you is, are you drinking the Kool-Aid that the OKC Thunder will shatter the Golden State Warriors regular season record of 73 wins?
Ooh, that's tough. I mean, they're on a great pace right now to do that, and they're doing it
I believe with FanDuel, they are just like, I believe they're like plus 250 to do it. I think they're slight underdogs right now with FanDuel.
That's going to be a tough, like it's a long season. And the fact that they're doing this now with Jalen Williams out, like they're missing key players in the game. Even Caruso left during this game, and they still were able to find a way. Now, I don't think I'll give them that they'll break the 73 win record, but I think that they can definitely, I think they will be, I'll say this, there will be high 60s, I think, again this year. And really quick, the Hornets, them rookies, I just got to say, shout out to them rookies, Knuckle, Sion James, Kalkbrenner, like they've been fun. Like they were competitive the first half, and then the third quarter happened and the Thunder said, we are who we are.
Yeah, I like Charlotte's rookies as well. Knuckle has been great. I really like the fact when they drafted Kalkbrenner, I thought he would be perfect for them. He's been really good for them. I like him as well. And I just want to see them finally get fully healthy. Like play a game, have a stretch. I know it's just like if they can just be healthy for just a stretch and just see what they look like. I mean, I don't know if they'll be very good, but like they'd be fun. I mean, they're fun at times now, but if they had the whole team healthy, they would just be such a fun watch. And I thought LaMelo was showing good things to start the year with how he was buying in defensively, moving off ball a little bit more. And then, of course, he has another ankle injury. I still blame the Big Baller brand for all that stuff.
Set him back from the beginning.
Yeah. But with OKC, I think, I'm not going to lie, I think they break it. I think they break it. This team.
By like one, do you think it's like 74 wins? That like, do you have a ratio?
I want to say 75 wins. Like they are like watching them, they look like they're unstoppable. They do. They do. Even when, and then like you mentioned, they dealt with injuries and had guys leave, but then they just have another like guy that would be like top 7 on another team's rotation just walk in and play. Like AJ Mitchell didn't even play for them last year, and he's out here starting games looking like a star. You got like Caruso missing games. All these guys just keep stepping in and just keep playing like it. They're one of those teams. I'll say this. I feel like, and they don't even have Jada, by the way. Jada's been out.
Right.
They're one of those teams where even if SGA goes down, for like, let's say he went down for a week, I wouldn't be shocked if they won every game that week because of how deep they are. Like, they could miss games from one of their best players. They already are right now. But from SGA or Chet or Jay, because of how deep they are, they can just survive it and still win. Like, they're bludgeoning teams without even their whole squad. So it's like, I think we might be witnessing like maybe the greatest year this year. Like this team's crazy.
I mean, if SGA goes down, I think it's a different challenge. Unless J-Dub, like if they got J-Dub back and then SGA got hurt, I think they could figure out a way to weather that. But SGA is just so consistent. It's like he's inevitable. And it feels like when you're watching him play, like this was his 7th 30-point game this season, 30 under 30. Like, what? He's not even playing 30 minutes and he's still able to put up 30 balls. Like,
and he's not even playing fourth quarters. Like you mentioned, he's playing crazy minutes. He's doing the step in 2016 when they were just sitting him fourth quarter, so they were just bludgeoning teams. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing with SD. He didn't even hit. He had 29 minutes and 26 seconds played in this game. He had 33, 7 and 4, and 13 and 19 shooting. It's like, dog, like what are you supposed to do with this? Like it's just
the
crazy.
8th time that he sat the entire fourth quarter this season. What?
And then they don't even blink have like I don't know. They're crazy. I'm at a loss of words with them. They're just unfair. And then we could get into the whole like pick situation because want to be dumb and they might have another top pick this year, but they're just unstoppable. And what did SGA say in starting 5? He is just very, 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 very hard to stop. Not impossible, just very hard to stop. So that's all we've got today. Thank you, Camille, for coming and joining me today. Thank you guys for making Locked On Game Night one of your favorite and first listens of every single day. You can find Camille over on Locked On Bucks. You can find me over on Locked On Pistons, where yes, we have 11 wins over there. So if you like, Camille, it's been a long time. You 15. Enjoy it. You deserve it, cool. You guys can catch any of Bucks coverage and Pistons coverage with me and Camille. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for making it your first listen. 5-star review on our podcast platform. Hit that subscribe to the YouTube channel. Until next time, we will see you guys later.